right. Happy Friday. Made it.
Friday.
How's everybody doing? We got Justin with us today. Thank you for joining, man.
Thanks for having me on. You guys are the first podcast I've been on since I moved to the great state of Texas, and I unpacked all my my gear here.
How does it feel being a Texan now?
It feels warm. It feels like I'm not going to adapt for a very long time, but I like it here. It's nice. It's nice.
You're not gonna adapt for a while.
No,
Average temperature just increased.
I'm gonna be wearing shorts in like December, and people are gonna look at me weird. But like here, I am not built for this yet. It's gonna take a long time to adapt.
I was gonna say it's gonna be warm a lot. No snow.
Same thing happened to me in reverse when I lived in San Fran. I was a minute there, and Caribbean creature, man. Like, I'm used to the heat, and all of a sudden it's like average 60s. You got to take a little light jacket everywhere because microclimates and the whole thing. And like, what's going on here? Like, temperature changes. It goes below 80. What?
I'm holding out hope for like October where I can go outside again. So we'll see. I'll be inside till like September, maybe October 1st. Then you'll see me outside.
What blew my mind first time we moved out there, like to San Fran, was there's no AC. Like I thought AC was like a staple everywhere. Like being in Florida, South Florida, most of my life. Like I'm like, you can't live without AC, right? And we moved to the first apartment building. There's no AC. I'm like, how do you what do you do when it's hot outside? Like where do you hide? Wow.
Yeah, it's another world.
That's another world. It's another world.
That and mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
No, was it ranch? It was ranch dressing. Sorry, soccer.
I love it.
Football. They were taking that back to Europe.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna pop up our agenda for today. It's a super complex agenda for today. We got all the effort in here.
Oh.
We're gonna talk about prevention techniques on the endpoint, maybe the non-typical ones, right? And the talking point is Friday. It's Friday, and then there's closing thoughts because it's Friday.
Will we also discuss sandbox escaping and attacking other organizations without them knowing?
Absolutely.
You have to. You can't be winning if you're not.
Either one time or 3 times.
That's awesome. Got a meme for that over here, right? Sorry. Maybe too early for the memes, right? Like
Early meme drop.
Oh my God. I was reading the blog earlier. I couldn't get through it in time, but I was reading the blog earlier. I'm like, where are my details? I feel like I keep screaming at this. Every time I see one of these things escape a sandbox, I'm like, I just want details.
I mean, it's cool. Like, I think it's interesting. Like, they're learning from it. I would have it's hard to be like, this is the craziest cyber thing we've ever dealt with. And they're like, oh, we forgot to turn logging on, and oops, it's really hard to like watch the parity between like what they say and that thing. And I get it, like things happen, but you're like, okay, this is something that happens once, like your pen testing intern, like caused an NL service event. Well, you have a conversation and that doesn't happen again. Like,
we gave it root access, patted in the back. I pointed it at a thing right outside, and it ran outside, right? Like, what? Wild. Oh man, best take I've seen, by the way. My opinion, by far, nuanced take. So, sorry, ran for like 2 seconds on this. I was absolutely with the Hugging Face OpenAI release at the beginning. It was absolutely on the camp of like, this smells like marketing, it sounds like marketing, it looks like marketing. But then the Hugging Face report dropped, and I really spent time reading, like try reading through it, right? And really detailing it out. And it converted my opinion on it. Like, it's enough data, right? And it's like, okay, well, this is clearly capable of chaining a bunch of attacks together. It did it in a very short time, like extremely fast, right? But what blew my mind is like, still use pastebin for like exfiltration, right? Like, definitely not stealthy, right? Like this is not built for stealth. This is built for speed, right? Like,
and even the speed piece, right? Like that still happened over several days. So like when I think of people talking about AI speed. They're like, oh, it's going to pop some endpoint at like, 5 seconds, and then like your whole network is hacked. Like you could probably do that in AD, like ransomware-esque techniques, right? Like that's a thing. But like everything has been like, it's so fast. There are always opportunities to stop here. Not that, it wouldn't give up, but like we work with clients where if we get caught on red team and trigger an alert, they're going to quarantine the box like immediately. And like they're rolling like stuff to triage. So it's tough. Like it's like, and the thing I guess is going to be, if somebody's relentlessly attacking you from different perspectives, like how much IR can you roll, even with like agents and people like that, like you start, like, what are you going to quarantine like all of our public Hugging Face clusters? Like, so.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good, like, I wonder, again, like, what prevention technology, something like that would, I mean, how would you affect an attack like that? Could you prevent even some
I mean, firewall controls, like EDR boxes. Like I think it's tough when stuff. Well, stuff when things are publicly exposed to the internet, right? Like it changes the game. That's why like all the vulnerabilities and stuff like that. Like people are panicking, and I get that. But you look at like the last several years of like Fortinet and Citrix and all that stuff. Like every couple weeks, some of those got popped, and like you had 24 hours to patch. If the patching time goes down a little bit, whatever. But like there's only so much stuff on the internet that's going to have those issues. Like if you start seeing like OpenSSH and Apache and like Nginx like 0-day with like default configs, like yeah, that's really bad and that changes the game. But like we're 5-6 years into like get stuff off the internet, put a WAF in front of it, put a bunch of controls around it. Like people know that now and it's accepted. So like it's hard to just roll over networks. Like if you look at red teams, they still phish, or like they do credential spraying into an app, and then like once they're inside the app, they do something. Like those attack flows there's a little bit like little tips and tricks in there that like don't make it into like just hack the web app and move across the network kind of thing. So
I found it pretty novel, unspecific. Like it was using the Hugging Face upload feature to like inject commands and extract data from it. And I thought that was pretty cool. That part of it, I was like, all right, that I don't know if necessarily creative, but cool.
And your other point brought up a really good one, like taking all of the like the file upload like pastebin sites and putting those into like a firewall or a proxy config and alerting on them, like, or just straight blocking them. Like that's an easy win for defense that you probably don't need at your enterprise organization, and like it's low on false positives.
I wonder, I don't know if you've, like Mike and I have been watching, but like there's been a bunch of startups in the last 2 weeks that have just come out of stealth, multi-million-dollar races on like AI, endpoint prevention, AI risk, right? Like all this stuff. I wonder what's like. I'm clearly the market is shifting, like literally underneath their feet, right? I wonder what's going to happen. Right?
So endpoint, like, I think you have like all you still need like your traditional like blocking attacks. I think a lot of this is playing into like you run Codex or Claude on your machine, like everybody's doing that. Like how do you collect telemetry and do something? Like I think there's a lot of those are trying to bleed into that space. Like I think this is going to end up being like another thing you need on top of that. Like it's super hard to try to catch up to like your traditional EDR vendor, but like now that the traditional ones don't do well with all the AI tools, that you're going to have to layer something else on, unfortunately.
Do you think the market will consolidate into some of these more traditional vendors, like for specifically like preventing, like you have risk for, like, I mean, CrowdStrike bought, was it Pangea? And I don't know how much they've done with it afterwards, but like I'd seen some acquisitions here and there. I guess we're trying. I mean, I don't know. The deal will consolidate. I wonder. Like, I'm curious. Like, if this is going to be like a breakout.
It always does.
Yeah.
It's everybody ends up like people build like a product that is really just a feature for some of these people, and like places don't want to put more. Like if you said, hey, you got to run 3 more agents on a machine or something like that, like people are very resistant to that, and you're already seeing consolidation with like identity-based products as part of the EDR. So like in the past where you would come in and write custom SIM rules for like AD attacks, well now you have MDI from Microsoft or identity from CrowdStrike. Like you're seeing these things come in upstream and take over because people don't want to manage stuff. So I think those companies will get eaten up by other people and just be a feature set.
Yeah. For sure, we're talking to more and more customers who are like this whole like LLMs and AI risk are top of mind, which is kind of wild because on the flip side, we see a lot of folks come through like RMMs and drivers, right? So, there's the thing you're worried about. There's the thing that is actually like popping people. Very different things.
We get that all the time. Like, oh, we want what's this AI LLM-driven malware that you guys like? Can you write that, or can you do this? Like, do all the attacks with LLMs? And we're like, okay, cool. Like, if I run curb roasting or the LLM runs curb roasting, it's going to look the same, and it actually might be more generic with the LLM because it's like aggregating the internet's knowledge of how to do some whatever attack. So like, we have a bunch of like, hey, maybe we change this flag to make it look more realistic. But like, when you try to prompt that from an LLM, it's just going to give you the most generic version. So it's tough. I mean, I don't fault people though, because everybody's board is like, I saw a blog on XYZ, like Mythos or whatever, like it hacked everybody in 2 seconds. Like, we got to worry about that. And we're like, I mean, yeah, it's on the list, but like maybe it's not the top thing. Hey, so.
That's fair. All right, you've been awfully quiet. No opinions on this one.
No, sorry, I get the kids rampant back here too, so I don't want it to overshadow the voices. I did have a question though. As far as like prevention goes, how often are you running into, or have you like, is the team running into kind of like prevention controls, or even like deception? Because we talked about that earlier too. I was just curious.
Deception, we do run into. We've ran into a lot of like poor deception over the years. So like I kind of chunk these things into like 2 different categories, and it's valid because like deception that's going to trip up like a pen tester and probably like what ransomware actors look like, which is super useful, or like deception that is going to trip up like the red team. So pen test side, we run into quite a bit of stuff. So like fake accounts, honey creds, things like that, and they work because you're like blasting through and whatever. On the red team side, we'll see like John Smith admin that's never logged in. And like, because most companies provision from like a big IAM, you're like, it's missing all these fields. Like, this person doesn't have a home address, like, or, so there's stuff that stands out there. I did a bunch of work with like the document stuff at one point, just because I think that you should layer that. So like Word documents have callbacks in them, right? So, but like if you're a red team or somebody, you're going to either parse that offline or open it in a sandbox. So like, but I think if you combine those with like things that the attacker can't control, so like this file got read from like a server, like a file server level event, that sort of thing. So we see them, they're out there. I've actually seen, there was like a big wave like 4 or 5 years ago about like tools that spin up all this fake infrastructure. And I've seen the pen test team like start hacking these things and then like get partway in and realize like, hey, cool. Like, but it's usually then like at smaller clients. The bigger ones don't seem to run the fake infrastructure. They tend to more focus on the credentials, like the AWS creds and things like that. I think the biggest problem with like a real attacker is making the data seem realistic. So like one of the things, like you can take the, you can like back convert like the AWS IDs to match the account ID. So like if you start seeing a bunch that don't match the rest of the company, you're like, that's a little weird. Now, you know, what red teamer's going to slow down enough to check that, you know, whatever. But yeah, so I think, I mean, it's valuable. I think it's the future of tripping people up. It just, there's so many other things I would deal with first, like app control and like making sure your EDR works and things. Like deception's cool because it's like the shiny thing people are talking about, but it's like, unless you have these things done, like now you're like, okay, cool. Like we got hacked and these 3 things triggered. They're like, oh, that's on our domain controller now too. You're like, that sort of thing. So
we definitely run a lot less into, I mean, it's funny because like app control specifically is one of those like, oh, nice to have control, but I you know, I'm not like, I would argue 90% of orgs are not really into it, right? Like they're not spending the time with it. They're not, and then the ones that are totally get like a ton of value out of it, right? Like there's recurring.
I think it was the pain, like years ago with like your Bit9s and like the first ones that did this. It was like companies like ran it because they ran it on like it came up a lot, and I'm like dating myself here, and this isn't that long ago. But like when all the point of sale systems used to get hacked before chip and pin, all of those companies went to doing that. But then they'd find out like their point of sale vendor doesn't sign all the files. So they like each time there was an update, which happens a lot, they'd have to go in and like do a bunch of manual overrides. So I think everybody got a bad taste in their mouth about that. But then there's that's one side of it, but then the other side is like app control for like lull bins and things that never actually run on a machine. So like if you start looking at attacks, like maybe that's a better way to look at it. Like the block all and like just allow list certain things is like great in a perfect world, but like that's super unreasonable from like a management perspective. Especially, you guys talked about this before. Like, tell me all the software your enterprise runs on all the workstations and what job functions are associated with the software. And like people fall out of their chair, but they're like, don't worry, we're gonna do all this other stuff. And you're like, well, you got to start here. So,
well, the answer is usually, we'll run a baseline for you for 6 months, and then you'll be protected for 6 months. 6 months? Well, that's 6 months.
Yeah.
So Mythos is taking over the world in 6 months. What do you mean? Like, get rid of it. I don't get it in 6 months.
It's all robots in 6 months. We don't even need to start this project.
Barely got 48 hours over here to flip this on, right? Like, oh man, I don't know. I also think it's wild. Like I'm seeing also. By the way, I saw this on the Hugging Face report. A lot of folks are turning to LLMs to then, like, just deal with IR, defend themselves, right? Like just like, hey, I got a security problem. Go ask the LLM, right? And Hugging Face did this with GLM, by the way. And do you run into that a ton, Justin? Like, let's see. Yeah.
We see a lot of people using like models and things like that to like write detections and kind of triage things, and like this is like the whole like, oh, I used some model to write every MITRE detection, I imported it all. Like, are they all perfect? Have you tuned them? Have you looked at like, well, the model said it was good, so like we see that. And the biggest thing for using it as like a defender is it's such a moving target. Like, you're like, okay, we built our IR playbook on using, let's say, Opus 4.6, and we have cyber verification, like they know we're defenders, like it's good. Well, the new model comes out and like CVP doesn't work on 4.8 the same way. So you're like, what is our playbook? Oh, we're getting denied. Like, you got to roll back to 4.6 in your playbook. And then like, there's a new model coming out over 3 or 4 months. So like enterprises don't move that fast to have somebody who just sits there all day going, well, let me retest the playbook every month. And then separate issue as the models get smarter, the skills and the things that you wrote and the harnessing you do, like, makes the model perform worse. So now you're in this thing of like, do I unit test my IR playbook that I run through on an LLM on a regular basis to see where it degraded because of my harness over the model? It's very tough to operate like that. You've now created a whole loop, which you can automate to some point, but you guys probably know as well. Hey, people usually don't work out their IR playbook and their triaging as much as they do. Maybe it's like phishing emails, like we're really good at triaging that type of thing. But like when you start getting into like interesting events, like and attacks are new, there's a lot of moving parts there to worry about.
Yeah. Here, I got a meme for this, by the way. It's pixelating terribly, but
It's hilarious.
I mean, I think it's great they use GLM. Like, it shows people, hey, like, because when you do like an IR incident, right? Like, one of the big things is, do we have out-of-band communication? So if like you all use some shared like Anthropic account or whatever, like, are you assuming that the attacker didn't get some high-level access to that or can do something? Like, that's a reasonable expectation that you have some kind of fallback plan. Like, what are you just going to put all of our logs into your personal like ChatGPT account? Like, that's our fallback plan? Like, maybe, but but I don't want to say it like I don't want people to think that like I'm for all of this. It's just introducing issues that I think people need to consider how to work through versus just like, hey, we're just throwing all of our data at this thing now and it works great the first time, but like things happen and you need to keep adjusting. So.
Especially like a lot of security workflows, you want a deterministic output or outcome. Models are not. They're usually terrible at that, right? So like for analysis, enrichment, stuff like this, in any defensive or even preventative workflow, even for us, like we avoid any model decisions necessarily into the product. The decision is like totally deterministic, right? Now a bunch of context around it may be brought in through models, but yeah.
It's the same from offense though. Think of it this way, like, people are like, pen test this IP address, and like the model runs Nmap and a bunch of tools. Like, why wouldn't I just have the LLM write a Python script to run the tools? It lowers your operating costs. You get the same output. Have the model look at the output, and then as you find new things, iterate on the Python script and add back to it. Like, it would be fine if you knew that the models were like this fixed decreasing cost, or you could tell that like, but there's so many areas where people's like, just have the model do it. And you're like, I've watched and I've tested a bunch of these tools where they just skip things, which means, okay, now my job is to audit the log. And it's just like people lost their mind with just like, hey, it costs very little to write a Python script. Like, this is not something that needs this, you know, use it when you have all of the data to make some decisions. Like, hey.
It's like, also to your point, you introduce now it's another thing to maintain and own and care and feed, right, through a process. One of the things that I remember years ago I saw, bring it back to preventive technologies and things to prevent attacks, so we see it rarely, but it works when we see it work. It works amazing. Deception technologies, right? But to your point, like I totally agree. Like, don't invest time on that unless you have like the basic boxes checked. Like, you got an EDR, right? Like some like identity controls. Right? One of the things that I saw first years ago was like they used to call it back then. It was like a vaccination or it's like a system vaccination. Well, they'll precede. I don't remember now. It was a cool term in the presentation. It was like they will precede like the registry in Windows with like a bunch of like entries, mutexes that like common ransomware payloads would leverage. So then if something else runs, we're like, oh, I'm already installed here. I won't run, right? Or again, like creating like virtual interfaces where like if a malware will run, like, oh, this is a VM, I won't execute, or like a virtual CPU, like pretend like there's one in the machine, right? What do we see? I'm literally asking,
Yeah.
what do we see more of this? Like, I feel like it is so simple, but also it could be super effective to some degree, right?
It's also the least pain. Like, there's the least amount of pain. Like, it's set and forget. Like, if you spawn a bunch of fake processes that say like they're IDA or whatever, like, you know how much or like you could look online and see how much like common sandbox checks tools do. Like, you can inject all those and then not worry about it. The only thing that breaks is Spotify. Spotify hates debuggers. So, I mean, like, that could be a corporate game changer, like not running Spotify at work. But I think I like it because like I never want to inject more problems. Like, right, like injecting fake accounts and stuff like that have its own issues. But like making the box so most commodity malware, like take like. What's the biggest risk you face today? Probably credential stealers. Like that's the entry point. Like, figure out all the stuff, catalog all of them, and then see what handful of things they check for. And they all check for, to your point, like very, very, very similar stuff. Put those in there, walk away, and I mean, as long as your EDR doesn't get an update and then decide that something happened, you'll be okay.
The EDR decides this is actually evil. Go clean your registry again.
Yeah, like all of our machines. It looked like that scene from Hackers where like everything is red. Like all of our machines are now infected. You're like,
it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, I was just thinking like AV would probably flip out, right, at some point.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, I think the process stuff you're pretty safe with, like the process names. I think if you focused on the reverse engineering tool side of it, because that seems to be where like a lot of the checks are on these things, like just from dealing with malware that tries to like, not run in a sandbox or not run with those tools on them. Like, if you could emulate all that, I think you'd probably, was that like 90% of stuff you run into? Because like most people run into commodity stuff, like, if sure you're worried about China or Russia, but like that's the reality for most people is that's not a thing. And if it is a thing, like, you're not stopping it with your normal means anyway. So,
pre-create an XM rig on the use of Vim, just like a touch.file, but make it like owned by root.
I love those crypto miners. Like, it's my favorite conversation is I talk to people and they're like, we're going to talk about our Linux IR program. I'm like, let me guess, your Jenkins instance on the internet got X miners. Like, how'd you know? I'm like, because that's every IR call I'm involved in is something from your CI/CD pipeline got exposed. You guys panicked, and the one thing they put on there was like, I'm like, I can't wait to find out that like Xrig has some like crazy, insane, like alternate backdoor workflow thing where like nobody analyzed it and missed it, where like this whole time it was doing stuff and they just like wrote it off, and then But that's like the number one use case call with Linux stuff I get. It's really funny.
It's like the whole thing just keeps the Monero market alive.
Basically, yeah. Like nobody actually uses it.
No, they're mining. 90% is mining Monero, right? Like that's about it. No, yeah. Seen plenty of those too. Cloud providers.
I'm hoping the ransomware actors just stop asking for Bitcoin. They're like, tell all your employees to pop out like one stick of DDR5 and like mail it to us or something, like a better return than the crypto, and it can't be traced.
Send us cloud credits. Come on, man.
Right.
It's like 30% off this week.
500
My hours are going to go up 30% this week. I'm kidding.
I was just thinking, a really interesting like deception or something that like ransomware people might go after down the road here is like people's Claude, like inside that temp directory, all your Claude skills and plans and everything. Just go and start stealing all these like documents that are just written by the LLMs. It'd be pretty wild.
I think some of that, the supply chain malware that was happening, like from all of the repositories we're gonna have. I think the last iteration of that like big cluster we saw was trying to go after like Claude files and things like that, and nobody has any idea at enterprises like how that stuff works, because a lot of the like those tools got rolled out before they had enterprise controls. Like they started adding like you can control the config now, but like when everybody was afraid to be the thing that slowed down AI at their company. So like every like CISO and like audit department was like, we'll have an exception, and then like people just did things, and you're kind of seeing. I think that's why you're seeing the add-on like EDR market piece now, because like those things don't have any oversight. So.
I wonder if TruffleHog has like any extensions or something like that for this kind of stuff, right? Like, it's not bad. There's like credentials and sensitive accounts in there as your like agent is running.
I'd love to see like dropping in a malicious skill or something that just adds like, just make all of my code 1% less secure, or just something like super like benign like that, and just.
For some reason, you're having their office space, like transfer 1 cent out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Again, I think we don't think enough, I think as defenders, about preventive technologies. Like to your point, like you got firewalls, you got ADRs, AVs, and like app control, and this kind of really deception. I don't know. I don't even know if I would put deception into like a preventative technology bucket. Maybe, yeah, I guess. Like,
it starts with understanding how hacks work. I think that is the problem. I think there's so much noise. I think there's so many intel reports, and there ever is like focuses on the malware that ran. Like oh, these are all the IOCs for this malware. But like, how did it get there, and what happened first, and like, what do they do after the malware? Like, the malware is great, like you can hunt on it, whatever. But like, it's the behavior stuff before and after where you make the impact, with deception, with like app control, with after. You're like, how do I what lateral movement techniques do we have in Microsoft that like we can knock out? Or like, I think that it's just the malware is the shiny thing, and like, oh, blah blah blah, drop this new thing, and like, for most places, sure, that's part of it, but like that isn't anything we can do. Like we threw that to our EDR vendor and like hope that they can do something. There's a lot of areas to focus on. I think get missed. Usually
those changes are the ones also that give you the most value the longest, in my experience. They pay dividends, for lack of a better word, for defenders, right? Like, look, Justin, you made it. Happy Friday.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. We're out of time.
We could talk all day about we got all kinds of things to talk about.
Exactly. I was actually popping up TruffleHog here. I'm curious, like, hey, what do they have for scanning? Like, we could be here easily another 30 minutes. I just want to say thank you again. We're gonna be a Black Hat. I hope to see you there if we can make it. I do have one final meme I want to share. This meme we've been marinating this for about a week, Justin. Like, literally, we created it last week, and we're going to bring it to this week's podcast here. Send this off.
I like it. I finally just watched that and Better Call Saul like in the last 6 months. So
amazing.
Oh, Better Call Saul's awesome. Yeah. Probably top 3 shows for me, for sure. Oh, look, happy Friday, Justin. Happy Friday, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.